Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, Brandon here with another great business to discuss on this episode of the Real Money, Real Business podcast. Today's guest is James, and he's selling his Amazon Associates and affiliate business on the Empire Flippers marketplace. So welcome to the show, James, and how are you doing today?
Hi, Brandon. Yeah, very good. Thank you. Excited to be here and talk about my business with you.
Yeah, it's really awesome to see this business that you've created, and I'm excited to talk to you about it as well. But before we get into the details of the business, let's give a quick general overview of the business itself. So it is an Amazon Associates and affiliate business in the sports niche, and it was created in June 2018. The average monthly revenue for the business is $2,147 and makes an average of $2,082 per month in net profit. For everyone listening, you can visit empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing 48016 to learn more about the business, or you can unlock this listing and start your due diligence if you're interested in purchasing this asset. So now that I've given a general overview of the business, what's included in the sale are 2 domains and all site content and files, 2 additional domains used as 301 redirects, social media accounts for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest, supplier contracts and relationships, and all product designs and logo files for the included brands. And it is worth noting that the valuation for this business is based on Amazon Associates' new commission structure rolled out on April 21st, 2020. So, James, can you tell me a little bit about your background in building and running online businesses?
Yeah, sure. So I started doing this around about 4 years ago. In 2016, I just graduated uni, and I was actually watching like a YouTube video, and this YouTuber was talking about how he monetizes his channel. And in that, he mentioned affiliate marketing. And so I looked into that a little bit and saw it's pretty interesting how people sort of built like a whole business around this concept of recommending other people's products and earning a commission online. So a little while after that, I started my first website towards the end of 2016. I built that and grew that up over the course of like 2 years till late 2017, early 2018. I sold that first site. I sort of like got to the point where I realized I kind of knew what I was doing a little bit, and I realized the niche was way too competitive for me. So I sort of sold that site, and around about the same time, I built the website now, which I'm selling today, which I've managed to about till now. And I built that up and worked on that until about early 2020, and then I've like got another site now, which I'm working on as well. So 3 sites over the course of 4 years. Still like fairly new to this whole thing.
No, that's really great that you were able to jump into it as fast and as quickly as you did and scale it to the level that you've done as well. Now, was that first business, was that in the same niche as this business that you're currently listing?
No, completely different niche altogether.
All right. So then how did you get the idea to start this specific business that you're selling on our marketplace?
Something that I'm quite like passionate about. It's about one specific sport, and I've done these sort of sports for like quite a long time. And there's different sub-sports within this main sport, if that makes sense. And I've sort of like grown up doing that, and it's been a passion of mine. I follow the sport religiously. I stay up. It's on quite late in the UK, so it's a passion of mine. So I went that route.
No, that's really great that you have a passion for it, and being able to turn that passion into something that generates income as well. It's always a great thing. Yeah, definitely. Now, how does this business primarily make money then? Is it most of it, the revenue coming from Amazon Associates or from your affiliate contacts?
Yeah, so the very vast majority, I'd say 90% comes from Amazon. That would be Amazon US, UK, and Canada. Mm-hmm. And the other 10% would be various merchants on share a sale. And it's like 90% Amazon, 10% share a sale, but varies from month to month.
Okay, gotcha. And then now, so why is it that you've decided at this time, James, you're wanting to sell the business?
That's a good question. I've struggled with that. Like, do I want to sell it? Don't I want to sell it? And for me, I think right now is a good time to sell it. I've got another website I'm working on. I've got 1 or 2 more websites in the pipeline that I want to start working on. And yeah, I'd quite like to like raise the funds, raise some capital to invest and sort of scale up like the sort of system I've put in place for building websites.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. And, a lot of, entrepreneurs now are doing just that as well, being able to take this capital and run it into their next project. Yeah. Now, on that subject, was there anything that you learned with this business in particular that you plan on applying to your future businesses down the road?
That's a very good question. Actually, kind of what we talked about earlier, it's kind of like controversial, but maybe not selecting a niche that you're passionate about is controversial to say, but then it kind of makes it, you get a bit emotionally attached. It's quite hard to like let it go, and it can kind of fog your like judgment a little bit. And yeah, that's about it. It's a bit controversial. I know a lot of people say to follow your passion, and it does help, but it can also like make it hard to let go and affect your decision making a little bit.
Right, especially when you have, aspirations with these other projects and getting rid of this, essentially your baby that you've been growing, right? So
exactly,
I completely agree with you. Now, on the flip side of that, James, was there anything that you tried with this business and it just didn't give you the ROI that you were expecting?
Yeah, good question. One thing that I wanted to do with the site, and I did try to do a little bit, was to sort of create like a news section on the website. So to have like articles about the events taking place, rumors, and just different things surrounding that sport. But I was actually writing a lot of the content myself, and I couldn't write all of that and do all these, like bash out like 5-10 articles a day on the news in this particular sport. So that's one thing I tried, and I failed, not because it couldn't work, but because like I didn't have the willpower to churn out that many words a week or a day.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you and understand it can be quite the struggle, especially if you're producing all of the content on your own, especially written content as well. Yeah. Now, so where does the majority of your traffic come from? Is most of it coming from organic search, or do you also run some ads to the business?
So yeah, pretty much all organic search, some referral and direct, but stuff like that. But I'd say like 90-95% is all organic search. No ads or anything like that. I've never ran ads.
Okay. Yeah, some great opportunities for someone that might have a background in that particular field. So that's great. Yeah, definitely. So hypothetically speaking, James, if you were to keep this business, what are some of the ways that you would personally try and grow it?
Yeah, so of course you got add more content and create more links, like the basic sort of affiliate marketing, like recipe, isn't it? But other than that, as I mentioned just now, kind of maybe going into that news sector within the sport. I know like I spend every day, I read these sort of articles too, and this like has the authority now, it has traffic as well. It's definitely a way you could expand going into like the news sector of that niche, and also maybe like create your own product. So for example, I've got like a brand name, logo, product designs, and even samples made for the products that I'm recommending. So instead of recommending Amazon products and getting 3 to 5% commission, recommend your own products. Then at Amazon FBA or have your own store on the website.
Yeah, that was something I noticed too when I was digging into your business here, and I noticed a great opportunity to expand, adding additional monetizations within this niche is a great opportunity. So that's awesome. Now, James, can you describe some of the typical weekly work that you're doing for this business at this time?
Sure. So to be honest, the last 6 months, I haven't really done much other than sort of the usual like updating the plugins and general management of the website. So for the last 6 months, my focus has been on my new website that I'm running now and planning my other websites that are coming in the future. So last 6 months, not very much work has gone into this site, to be honest. Okay. But prior to that, obviously growing the website and writing all the content myself was quite a long process and was quite a lot of work. But now it's like reached a point where 6 months, I haven't really done much to it, and it's actually continued to grow it essentially, even with the Amazon affiliate payment structure change. So not too much has been done for now, but obviously if you want to grow it, more work will be needed.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you on that. Now, do you feel that there's maybe a particular skill set that a buyer should already have prior to acquiring this asset from you?
I guess it depends which direction they sort of want to take the business from. I guess continuing to grow what it's already successful at. I guess basic sort of like WordPress management and knowledge of WordPress would be, I guess, essential, and understanding of how to conduct outreach like guest posts or infographic outreach or skyscraper, stuff like that. Knowledge on that to continue getting links. But other than that, just sort of basic sort of internet marketing knowledge.
Gotcha. Now, do you think that a buyer should physically be able to write this content for this niche, or do you think it's something that can be outsourced quite easily?
So when I did dabble in outsourcing with this website. There's actually a website out there that I since discovered called like Pro Blogger, where you can find people who are actually pros within a certain niche. I hadn't actually heard of that point in time. So I think using something like that probably could find people to write articles for you. And yeah, it's definitely going to be harder to find someone who knows about this niche.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. And then, so what do you feel personally, James, are some of the potential risks that a buyer should be aware of with this business?
Yeah, so I think there's two main risks that should be aware of, which I guess any kind of online business like this is going to have. And the first will be like Google algorithm updates. Obviously, there's been a few big ones over the last few years, like the Medic update and whatnot. So that's definitely something to be aware of. And also, most recently, the Amazon commission structure changed. So I think it was in April they changed how they were going to pay certain categories within Amazon. So that's also something to be aware of. But on that note, there are certain ways you can mitigate that risk. For example, I mentioned earlier that I was an affiliate for different share sale merchants, maybe split testing that, who's more profitable, and exploring other affiliates.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. Exploring your options for affiliates and expanding into the other monetizations we mentioned as well. Some great opportunities. Now, James, are you willing to commit to a non-compete, meaning your future project that you're working on currently, you'll stay out of this specific niche?
Yes, I'm willing to sign that, yes.
Perfect. It's good to hear. Now then, how much support are you willing to offer potential buyers? Are you going with the typical 30 days of email and Skype support, or did you have something in addition that you would like to add on to that?
To be honest, I kind of thought 60-day email and Skype. I obviously really want to see this website succeed, and I'm happy to help as much as I can, to a certain extent. So yeah, something like 60-day emails or once a month Skype for 60 days or something like that. I mean, it's a pretty basic understanding. There's not too much to it to be able to help with. But yeah, whatever I can do, I will certainly do it.
Okay. Yeah, that's really great to hear. I'm sure any potential buyers that are out there listening can really take the value in seeing that you're willing to see them succeed as well, taking this over. Now, just a few more sideline questions for you, James.
Yep.
Is there anyone who inspired you while you were building this business that our listeners might like as well?
It's a tough one. For me, I know they would do a lot of stuff with Empire Flippers. It's the Authority Hacker guys. I love their stuff. They like their podcasts and whatnot. I actually bought their course after I sold my first website just because I couldn't afford it when I first started. And I bought it just to sort of validate what I was doing was correct and if there were better ways to do it. So yeah, those guys and their podcasts are awesome. Yeah, I love those guys. Yeah,
their blueprints are pretty great. We use them on a constant basis as well. Yeah, so really great,
epic,
great crew over there. Now, what advice would you give to our listeners that you wish you knew when you first started in the online business world?
Yeah, I think I didn't realize how much trial and error it's going to be. There's so much information out there. I mean, it's ridiculous. Some of it's absolute garbage. Some of it is helpful. You have to sift through it and find the good stuff. And the only way to know what is actually going to work is through trial and error. And you are going to fail, but as they say, fail fast, find what works, and then replicate it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the biggest thing is with trial and error. Until you figure out what is working, you don't really know where to spend all of your efforts. So yeah, I completely agree with you on that. Now, why do you think that this business model, Amazon Associates Affiliate in specific, is great for those who are just getting started in building or growing an online business?
Yeah, that's actually a really good question. For me, what was so good about it, unlike e-commerce where you have the upfront cost of stocks, logistics, you got to run your pay-per-click ads. There's not that much upfront cost. You can kind of do it. You get your website, you get your domain name, your hosting, a decent theme, and you can write the content yourself and you can do it. But the barrier to entry with capital-wise is pretty low. You don't need too much upfront cost, which is really good. And another good thing about it is, unlike e-commerce where you have to run your ads constantly, and if you're not running your ads, you're not making money. With affiliate marketing, you can leave a website like this website, for example, for 6 months, and it will continue to grow.
Yeah, no, definitely. Also focusing primarily on your marketing efforts within, affiliate marketing as well, as it offers you a lot more flexibility, I guess, in that sense. Like you had mentioned, some of the other share sales and some of the other networks you have at your disposal. So it's really great. Now, just last question for you, James. Putting yourself in the shoes of a buyer, why do you think that your business is worth buying?
I think this is a really, really good niche to get into. I mean, the sport itself is only just over 25 years old, and it has grown to be one of the most popular sports in the world. Growing up, I did a lot of the sub-sports within this main sport, and I didn't know anyone doing these sports when I was younger. Now, every man and his dog's doing these kind of sports. It's grown massively in popularity, and also this sport is one of the only sports that sort of continue through the pandemic. So in that sense, it's pandemic proof, and it's continued to grow in popularity year after year.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. It's a really great opportunity for someone to come in and, with a little bit of affiliate marketing or maybe even just some background within marketing in general, they can really scale this business to its full potential.
Yeah. And also, as I mentioned earlier, the creating your own products, I think it's not just an authority site or a niche site. It's sort of a brand waiting to happen. You can definitely take this and really get some good ROI if you know what you're doing in that regard.
Yeah, exactly. I completely agree with you 100% on that. Awesome, James. So that pretty much wraps up the call. Was there anything else that you'd like to share that I might have missed?
I think we covered everything.
Okay, perfect. Well, I really appreciate you coming on the call with us today, James. It was nice talking to you about this business, and I'm sure we'll be getting this listing sold for you in the near future.
Yep. Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you so much, James. And all right, everyone. So thanks for listening. To learn more and to see if this listing has already been sold, head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing 48016. If you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. And once you've unlocked the listing, you'll be given everything you need to know about this business. So until next time, enjoy your digital journey.